concerns when it comes to the implementation of RRCs. We do agree with you that important provisions of this agreement were not implemented. We also agree that we may have contributed in one way or the other when it comes to delay of these provisions. In regard to what will we do different this time, we have no magic to wake up in the morning and say it is going to be this way. But as high-level standing committee, we have made proposals to the leadership, which were endorsed. And it is our hope, like any of you, that the leadership will stick to this proposal and make sure that we deliver during this extension. I think it's important, and some talk about it earlier, that 90% or 85% of our budget come from oil revenue. Today, 70% of our oil production since February 6th is shut down due to the war in Sudan. And one is also reminded by the war in Sudan that the lifeline of this country is dependent on oil. However, I'm not here to deny the fact that at some point there were money that would have been used for this particular work. And that is the reason that the high-level committee saw it necessary that there is need for austerity measures to be taken so that we implement provisions of this agreement. But also, we need to take this into account at the same time that we are not only here to write for election. We have an agreement to implement, and it is that agreement, the end of it is election. That's why it's important that we give ourselves the opportunity to extend the period, unify the army, come up with a permanent constitution, because also the very agreement said the election shall be conducted based on the permanent constitution. To our partners, I think you all need to appreciate the fact that for us to come together, we have different views, but we are united by the purpose. We are united by the fact that we have a country to preserve. We have a country to maintain. We have a country that we don't want to disintegrate in our hands. And this brings us to the fact that on the 22nd of this month, the government is supposed to be dissolved. What if the government is dissolved and your environment is not ready for election come 22nd of December? What do you do? Where do you go? And this brings me to the question of tumaini. We were asked yesterday when we made ambassadors, but here is what we wanted to say. Imagine a situation that the government is dissolved, or you have not extended and you have not dissolved the government, but you have no legitimacy come the 22nd of September. Who is going to negotiate with the whole out groups? There must be government in place to negotiate with all our groups in Tumaini. If the intention of Tumaini is to bring peace, inclusive peace in the Republic of South Sudan, then you need RRCs. But if the intention of Tumaini is to replace RRCs, then you have so many other questions to answer. To some of us, we think we need Tumaini to be an annex to an RRCs. And it will not be an annex if RRCs is dead. It will only be an annex when RRCs is alive. And that's the reason why we are saying today, we are requesting all of you to support this extension so that you have an RRCs that is alive, and it is this RRCs that produce Artigono. It is this Artigono to go to Nairobi and sit with the whole out groups and negotiate. But it's not the other way around. I would like to say that we need support in the process of implementing the extended period. We cannot lie to ourselves that we will do it alone. No. We need each and everyone who is here today
For the region, I can only appreciate how you have stood with us for very many years. And you continue to stand with us. Because as a region, you know also that there are people who are destabilizing our region. And you can look around. Where is Sudan, which was a very strong country in the region? Where is it? If Kenya did not have a national army, professional national army, Kenya today would have been in turmoil. If Uganda does not have a strong leader, Uganda would be in turmoil today. Any country with multiple armies in their hands is not safe. Look at the DRC. Look at Chad. Look at Central African Republic. And look at West African countries where there are a lot of armed groups. We don't want to do that. We want to avoid that. We want to have one national army and only political parties, no more. So we want to thank the wisdom of the region for recognizing the challenges that we've just presented. And if there is anybody within the region who does not stand with us, please, today, the people of South Sudan want your vote. It's not us. We are the leaders who can be replaced anytime. And the Bible says, in leadership, there is a failure, but there's also success. The worst thing you can do as a leader is to discontinue the cause of your people. And we refuse to disregard the cause of our people. We want you in the region to support our people.